Paris Games Week Expo goes on till tomorrow, but all the finals and all the championships are taking place this afternoon. So it's been one heck of a ride. Voices are on the way out. Many hours have led to this. I'm just really pumped to see everyone. Thank you for the lulls at the little commentary. The dubs. We'll keep the dubs going. He's not charging. I know he's plugging it into the display. That's what he had set up right there.
Yeah. So losers bracket is still going to be very heated. These are the best of the best. For the people tuning in, let's explain how these guys qualified.
Oh, once again, 128 players.
And where did they come from?
Oh my gosh, there was like a 1,000-player tournament, and like a dozen or so people came from that.
Yeah, there's about 10,000 player tournaments in game, and of those top players, 128 qualified to compete in 4 groups here.
Yep.
Each group being 32 players, and of those 4 groups, 4 of the best players of those 32 groups qualified for the finals that you see today.
Yeah, via a Swiss bracket style where if you won, you went on to play other winners. If you lost, you played people a little bit closer to your ranking, and only 4 would move on. So it was basically mostly undefeated people and people with only 1 loss, which is why this Final 16 today was already elite players. But the Final 4 of the Final 16, that's elite squared.
Elite of the elite? I'd say elite to the power of 5.
You're going to skip cubed and go straight to the 5th?
Yeah.
All right, whatever, OJ. Go do some more math. Tell me the percentage of a golden chest in Arena 7 of giving me a legendary.
Less than 1%.
Oh, wow. All right, what about Arena 4?
Now you're getting too complicated.
There's only like, what, 2 legendaries down
Just
there?
ask me Arena 9. I can't do any of those ones. But anyways.
Yeah. On the spot. Yay.
Looks like there are...
Oh, we're starting.
Going into the match, Termisfa versus B Village for the loose bracket.
It's the best of 5, and it's for 3rd place is what they're playing for right now. All right.
Termisfa going in with that miner on the right side, does some chip damage. That guard does some pokey damage right there.
Pokey damage?
Called out. So
I choose you, miner. Or guard.
So look at that Ice Speeder. It's going to freeze those minions right there, and it's going to get chipped out by that arena tower. Mega Minion played in the back. That's perfect because Termisfa has a Lava Hound. Oh, he has an Expo!
So he decides to just put it right underneath the Lava Hound, and the Ice Golem's going to tank a good bit from the Mega Minion.
Oh, and the guards!
Get deployed, distracting the Mega Minion even longer.
Look at that. The Expo's doing over 1,000 damage. It's still up. That Lava Hound was locked onto the Expo, but it does 1 Spear Goblin's worth of damage.
This is going to be interesting to see. An Expo versus a Lava Hound deck, you just kind of have to just take your Expo and shoot it right underneath all those air units and then defend it long enough to do more than the Hound push coming at you.
This could mean a lot of trouble right now, especially with Termisfa playing a mostly air deck. He's not going to have a lot of answers to that Expo.
You could see a very conservative tombstone is placed so that those skeletons can trickle out, but if it's not in front of the arena tower, the Expo only has to take out 2 skeletons, then they can just lock on the arena tower.
Yep. Just look at that Expo again. It's going to start...
Yeah, watch. It's going to take out a couple skeletons and go right to the arena tower.
Termisfa playing Lightning for the first time. Now it's still locked onto the tower. Even though it got Lightning, it's still going to start hitting the tower. So much damage. That Mega Minion is quite slow. Look at that, 454. It is within rocket damage if B Village is running another rocket.
Yes, it is. And the other thing is, with this Expo deck, he could very well have, like, Inferno Tower Fireball.
That's
and
right.
We haven't even seen it yet. So if he just is comfortable with the damage he's dealt, just start defending this Hound with everything you've got, and let's see how that plays out.
And just look at the perfect placements of all of these players right now. Exact tile placements of all of these cards.
There's the Inferno, there's the Expo, where's the Fireball? So the Expo is going to make it so his Hound is unassisted.
But look at that minion just chipping away at that Expo, so it's going to finish it off before it can do too much damage, but he's going to counter all those pups with the Ice Golem.
Wow, whatever his last card is, he feels confident enough to just defend with troops and not even have to send it out right there. So there's another Hound. The Expo's going to go down to try to finish off this tower. It's going to have to go through a tombstone, though. And there's the Fireball.
There it is, just like you said, the Fireball. Now the Fireball does 276 damage to the tower. It is within Fireball range, and with those 2 tombstones, it did just fight. Oh, the Expo locked into the tower, takes it out.
It got through all those skeletons.
If that Mega Minion can get to the tower, that's 3 seconds left. The pups pop, but he protects everything with the guards, defending for the victory.
That I have to say, that was a pretty good Expo execution right there against the Lava Hound, especially when there were 2 tombstones down. It had to take the onslaught of skeletons and a full tombstone out before it could lock the tower. It got just enough.
That was the first time that we saw Fireball played in that whole match, just because he couldn't justify using it until there were 2 tombstones back to back. It was just so intense, where Termisfa never gave him an opportunity to use a value Fireball.
And that's one of the standard, that's a good Expo deck when you get the Ice Spirit, the Ice Golem. Guards are being used more and more over Skeleton Army because more and more logs or even zaps or princesses in those rocket cycle decks are kind of taking him out quick. But Inferno Tower and Expo, definitely rough. I'm just reading some of your guys' comments here. I don't know. I feel like if he wasn't ready that first Expo, when there was a Hound and a Mega Minion down, he had so much Elixir already just invested right there, and then it came down, and then the guards held up, or the Ice Golem, and then guards held up the Mega Minion. That set the tone for him to just finish off that tower over the last little bit of time.
And Termisfa just didn't know he had a Fireball, so he did place the tombstones back to back.
Yeah. I wonder.
Like, again, they are card counting each other, and they know each other's card rotations, Elixir, and everything, but Termisfa didn't know what his 8th card was.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a tricky play. And the Fireball taking everything out, it allowed that Expo to lock on to the tower.
There's been a good amount of Expo decks with Rocket, but more and more it's coming down to Fireball because these players are able to get it really close and then just barely finish it off with Fireball. So we're jumping into the next one, and we're going to see who's changing decks and who's not. Term's going to be on top, B Village on the bottom, and let's see what they've got.
So B Village has the first victory for the match out of 5. Look at the Goblin Barrel planted in the back. The arrow prediction fails.
I'm surprised he didn't see that. That was significantly past the tower.
The arrows are a little bit slower, so he did have to use guards to defend against the Goblin Barrel.
An Elixir Collector.
Wow.
And the Rocket is drawn out. It's like
B Village is using an Elixir Collector to lure out that Rocket.
But if Term hadn't switched from the Lava Hound, that's very interesting because it's like he thought he would go to a Rocket deck to counter his Expo and then brought a Elixir Collector to draw the Rocket from the next deck.
That's exactly what happened because they're countering each other's counters to their counter.
You gotta quadruple counter to even have a chance of being ahead.
Look at that bowler just go in for one bullet, just go in for another. He goes in for the second whole wheat for the tower. That's quite a bit of damage, especially in these close plays. That one extra hit could mean the entire game.
And then a delay 2 stabs before the log comes down.
37 seconds left until
overtime.
Assume
that Elixir Collector.
Skeleton Army. He's running a bait deck, an absolute bait deck. Minion Horde, Skeleton Army, Goblin Barrel to bait out everything, and then an Elixir Collector to bait out the Rocket.
It's interesting how he's going to take out the bowler. Yeah, the miner just to have him bowl off to the side as soon as he's within range of the tower there.
And just look at that. Termisfa adjusted by not rocketing that Elixir Collector.
Great, good value out of those arrows. Finishing off the miner and taking out the horde. And now he has the rocket up for whatever he chooses. The only problem is it's tough to justify when if you throw a rocket, you could have a minion horde Goblin Barrel coming right back at you.
Right now into double Elixir overtime. Let's see what they do. Goblin Barrel versus the Rocket. Corner plant on that Goblin Barrel, and the bowler misses it completely.
What?
But they don't make it to the tower.
Still a cool play.
Yeah,
that was still cool.
Those goblins were a little bit too fast for their own good.
The whole tournament, I've been saying, when are they going to throw these crazy barrels? Throw us some surprises, and B is currently delivering on that.
And look at the Skeleton Army. Just take out the bowler. Despite it having the splash damage, it just got surrounded really hard. 30 seconds left. Goblin Barrel versus
Rocket.
Once
again, deep, and the log misses. He's got to be knowing that that's coming now. He logs and arrows that. Now just send in the minions or Skeleton Army, or minions would be better.
188, log takes it out. Now he just needs to cycle back to the log or use a lightning. Just needs to defend against this push. It's going to be very close because Termisfa does have a rocket. It is within rocket damage. It's going to take out the tower.
Lightning!
The princess takes out, they both take out the tower going into overtime. Wow.
2-1, and let's see how this plays out. That was an awesome way to enter overtime.
That was such a close play right there. Mega Minion going in slowly. If it's left ignored, it's going to swing once, and the miner's going to support it, but the King Tower is activated. Mega Minion gets one hit off of the.
Wow,
like
that
V-Village.
miner just did a good amount of damage. And then the log at nothing.
Looks like the log was played a little bit slowly.
It could be a connection thing. It could just be a reaction time. We'll see how they feel going forward here. Bowler's coming in. The rocket's coming down, and it looks like they're done.
Looks like V-Village isn't responding to that. The log.
I wonder if that log was way earlier and just didn't come out in time.
It did look like that log was a proper response to all of that. So
with the skill B-Village was demonstrating with those goblin barrels and
it was such a
plays
close match
throughout. Technical issues in that one right there was just been confirmed. There's going to be a rematch, which those goblin barrel plays were so good.
Yep.
I wanted to see how that was going to end the first time, but we're going to have to go back into it, and it's going to be, what was it, 1-0B, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 1-0B. So we're going to be redoing the round 2.
Keep in mind when you're in these kind of stadiums where there are thousands and thousands of people in the same room.
Yeah.
Where there's just so many cell phones and there's just so many connection issues. Even in Shanghai, where there's 500 players.
And 50 routers.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not even exaggerating about that. It's insane. You could see them all across the roof. So we're going to be jumping into this rematch right here.
All right, everything's looking like good connection. Oh, the rocket goes out, and then the elixir collector is placed down. So I think
if we could get that on full screen, then we can see the score from B-Village.
Oh yeah, we gotta get that full screen so everyone can see it a little better. It's a little small.
Going in again with that barrel,
the rematch has to be the same deck because that's what they chose, and you don't want to like alter history by giving them an advantage to be able to change it to something else.
So it's full screen now. It is confirmed that B-Village is at 1-0 still. But now it's going to be a little bit harder because B-Village had that corner barrel up his sleeve, which he doesn't have anymore.
Minion Horde, beautiful, takes out the bowler, but it does get one bowl away, but the arrows are going to take some time to travel about half the arena right there. Princess, he's going to go with the Mega Minion. 2 elixir collectors down.
We haven't seen this yet. Mega Minion gets 1 hit off, 2 hits off, but B-Village is going to take it up because B-Village has 2 elixir collectors.
Yeah, he's going to say, you know what? I just successfully deployed 2 elixir collectors. You can hit my tower twice because there's about to be an onslaught of troops flying at you.
2 elixir collectors, 20 seconds into overtime. I'm going to send in 4 cards of minion hordes left and right.
Let's see. Skeleton Army, expect maybe some minions coming in, just literally anything he's got.
Look at that, the Goblin Barrel just dealing so much damage to the tower just because that log was played a little bit too early. He wanted too much value from the log to try and take out the Skeleton Army as well.
Miner, Minion Horde probably, or yeah, on that, because now he's got 2 things. He's got to arrow those, but then, if he does, that's going to be a good arrow.
Look at the value of those arrows right there. But that Mega Minion comes in for another swing, 2 swings, leaving that ignored.
Still, B's like, you can hit me twice. I still have 1 pump. It's double elixir.
That Skeleton, or that Goblin Barrel did get a couple stabs off of that tower, so it's at 96 health. Miner versus Miner on the right side.
Attempts to get the Miner and the tower, but he's going to run away.
501 health on the right side of the tower. It's not within rocket damage yet.
Okay, now he's probably regretting all those double Mega Minion swings he was allowing on his tower, because if this goes into overtime once again, he's significantly behind on the left side.
This is looking...
That's going to be within range of...
Now
my goodness!
Now that bottom right tower is within rocket range, takes it out, and he's at an advantage because the right side is taken down. So much pressure back and forth. Look at those arrows right there.
I got to give it to Term. He's really saving his arrows for that Minion Horde.
He doesn't have enough elixir to counter those Goblin Barrels until right there. He was sitting at 1 elixir when the Goblin Barrel landed, so he didn't have enough to play
he wanted that Princess to get a shot on that tower, and now the Miner's not going to let her. His own Miner goes in, and now we're seeing guards for the Miner, which obviously they've been in the battle the whole time, but those last couple we were complaining a little bit that they weren't fully shutting down the Miner. He's doing a good job now.
480, that Goblin Barrel just keeps stabbing at it. For 3 elixir, they're providing so much value. Rocket right there. Looks like Termisfa is confident that he can defend and cycle. 200, 170 takes out the tower.
B-Village doing it once again. Wow. That was good. What was his last card? Was it a rocket?
Yeah. It was a lightning.
Lightning on that. He used it. I feel like he used it in the one that was redone. Because weren't we talking about that? Yeah, he had the lightning, but he never brought it out till he didn't even use that card, I don't think, in that entire match. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was actually expecting a lightning to come up, but
Yeah.
that minion
Interesting
horde
stuff.
just got through. There's so much to counter everything. There's the minion horde, the skeleton army, the princess, so many things to log, the goblin barrel. Oh, look at that. That's our first time seeing that trophy.
Where?
You missed it.
Oh,
Or
man.
is it?
So right here, he did a really good job. And yeah. All right. There's a bunch of people coming back into our area over here. Interesting stuff.
Oh, and one last thing we haven't mentioned this whole tournament is that the graveyard is banned just because it's such a new card. Not a lot of people will have it, so it's kind of an unfair advantage.
Yeah, we mentioned that at the start of each of the days, but everyone joining in just for the finals here. It hasn't been used. It doesn't have enough use time as well as ability to be found yet, so they decided to just not let it happen.
Yep.
So it's 2-0, right? B?
Yep.
All right, so B is currently 1 win away.
For best of 5, anything could happen. Termisfa did play a very good game.
I mean, B's got it going on. He did lose to Surgical, but he took down Baby Dragon.
Baby
Right?
Star?
Oh, yeah, Baby Star, sorry.
He did.
Baby Dragon. The words are starting to blur. There's so many matches.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one earlier. Baby Star was only 1 matchup away from being in the Final Four. That was pretty
Yep.
close. Yeah.
Looks like they're just deciding the decks right now, but they will be hopping into the 3rd match. Hopefully not the final one. I would love to see Termisfa come back from this.
Thank you for everyone giving some love in the chat. It's been fun. I'm NickatNyte, joined here with Yarn from Orange.
Orange juice.
Orangeons. B Village is requesting a friendly battle in Chinese. But
Default.
Termisfa somehow figures out what it says and accepts.
Oh, that's very interesting. It's like he's bilingual. Trilingual, because he does speak English.
Yep. All right, let's get this kicking. We've got a princess.
And a
The
bowler.
rocket. So it's a
Rocket going onto that bowler. It's going to deal a
Boom.
little bit damage. That princess might actually lock onto the bowler and splash onto the tower. Let's see right there. Is that it does
Yes.
splash onto the tower for 140 damage. Look at that bowler with that sliver of health. It's not going to reach the tower unless there's a miner somewhere.
Musketeer. We have not seen a Musketeer in I don't even know how long in this tournament. So is this a giant bowler lightning Musketeer deck?
It is. That
Oh
is your
my.
16th prediction of this. You
Whoa.
need to create a video for how to predict.
Well, I mean, we saw Bowler and Tombstone, but it's like we haven't seen that played this tournament. Let's see if he can make it work
Look at
against
that.
this Rocket Cycle deck with an Ice Wizard now for
Look
the
at
first
that.
time.
B Village compromised the arrows just so that he would clip the princess more than he would the skeleton army. Just so much value right there.
And then he has Arrows, Log, and Lightning, so it's going to be quite a heavy hitter deck here in Double Elixir.
Surprisingly, we haven't seen as many Ice Wizards in this
Yeah, that
tournament.
Rocket Cycle, yeah, it's a lot of defense between the Ice Spirit and Ice Wizard. That could shut down quite a bit.
We need to do a collaboration where you kind of teach everyone how to predict all of these things. It's insane. Your thought process on everything is just...
On point. Did you want me to finish that? Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm looking at that while you're analyzing the micro plays, and I think it's working out with a nice little synergy there.
It does. Look at that Ice Wizard just slow down that giant. Does he have a building to pull that giant? Termisfa doesn't, but he does use a log. Look at that prediction log taking out the skeleton army that giant goes through. Going for one punch, the Ice Spirit freezes it, goes in for another punch.
Wow.
So much damage. A giant, just because Termisfa doesn't have a building to pull it.
And if he doesn't, what is he waiting for over there? What does he have?
What
I
is
mean,
his 8th card?
It could be arrows as well, because there's nothing to arrow in the giant bowler deck.
Termisfa going really aggressive with that rocket right now. He's not going to have much to defend against this giant, but he doesn't have 8 elixir right now.
Yeah, so he has to mount Ice Wizard. He's got to get the princess down, try to log it back, try to freeze it. It's a lot of steps to deal with without the tower. Now he's wishing he brought an Inferno
The
instead of
giant
that
gets
last
one
spell.
punch in. That is a lot of damage, plus the log. We're
Oh,
seeing
a
the hog
Hog
for the
Rider.
first time.
Holding on to it with 17 seconds left, sends it in, doesn't get a hit off, but he's got a rocket. It would need a log rocket and a princess
That's looking
shot.
very intense right now. The rocket goes in. The bowling goes in the lightning for that tower. 5 seconds left. How he's going to counter this? plants a giant there.
There's nothing.
There's a log goes in, and B Village takes the win for 1,500.
B Village 3-0, third place in the tournament with 2 decks that we have not seen played. I don't think the entire tournament.
That is insane.
We
B
know
Village,
the deck, but no one's been using that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then the Hog, Rocket, Ice Wizard. It was like a tweak on the other Hog variant with the Rocket. Yeah.
And that giant deck just really caught off Termisfa because he hasn't been competing against that. It's not necessarily skill, but rather as rock paper scissors, where he guessed correctly.
And that's interesting because if it was a Golem or a Lava Hound, he still didn't have a defense, but he must have felt confident with what he did have.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. So that is going to do it for the, I guess you could call it losers bracket, but it's just the third and fourth place bracket. They're both winners amongst the other 124 that aren't on that stage.
Even if I lost that match, I would still be happy for winning $1,000. That's a winner bracket to me.
Everyone's dropping some the chat. I haven't seen the interaction that went on as they got out of the seats there, but we're about to see the matchup of the Millennium, the Era,
The era.
the Age.
Okay.
I beat it. I got an Age.
So now we're going to be having the finals after this match.
Surgical. This guy is something else. But so is Ming. Has Surgical and Ming played at all? No, right?
They haven't.
That's interesting.
Because if they did play against each other in the qualifiers, one of them would have eliminated the other. Actually, no, they would have still placed number 1 and number 2 to be where they are now.
Wow. This is going to be more fun than mirroring a graveyard on a King Tower coming up here in just a few seconds.
The battle of the century. Ming versus Surgical Goblin, competing for $5,000 right now.
It is weird that people are commenting as well that we haven't seen more Giant, Bowler, Lightning. It is more of a ladder deck right now. The Rocket Cycle, Expo, Lava Hound, and Golem are the 4 main decks we've been seeing, as well as just Minor Control. Minor Furnace has also been pretty annoying with a Bowler in it as well. That's been doing some work in tournaments, but the main thing is these players, they're picking decks where every single card they can get so much value out of each one.
It's so scary. If you're playing and you see that Minor coming in for 2 shovel hits, you already know that you're losing. Even though you're able to kill it, it's just providing so much chip value.
And here's Chad bringing the guys in, just announcing with the pride of the country coming in.
Surgical versus Ming right there, followed behind Surgical.
They've both been on the stage before. They both conquered. Now it's just who's going to take this.
Surgical Goblin on the right. Look, he's a Goblin wearing a green shirt.
That's got to be planned.
It absolutely is. And then Ming on the left side with a white sweater.
Does he have a red lining to the inside of his white sweater?
He does.
That's interesting that they put him on the red seat.
I want that white sweater.